Okay, on our second example here, again, we just need to find out where our asymptotes are at. So we're going to figure this out. We're going to have one at positive and negative, pi over 2b, and b this time is pi over 4. Okay. Now this is probably the most difficult part of this process, is doing the arithmetic here. So what I would do is I would ignore the numerator for a second and figure out what our denominator is here. Well, 2 times pi over 4, this 2, because this is 2 over 1, can cancel with that. So this gets you pi over 2. So this is pi divided by pi over 2. Well, when you divide by a fraction, you multiply by the reciprocal. So this is pi times, flip this over, 2 over pi. So here the pi's cancel, and you're left with positive or negative 2. So that's where our asymptotes are at, positive or negative 2. Okay. So this time our asymptotes are at whole numbers. So we've got half, 1, 1 1/2, 2. So there's our one asymptote, half, 1, 1 1/2, 2. Okay. There's our next asymptote. Then we go to the middle. That's at 0. Go to the middle here. Middle here would be at negative 1. At negative 1, you're at negative 1. Go to the middle here. You're at positive 1. And your y is positive 1. Graph approaches your asymptote there and over there. So now we need to know where our next asymptote is at. Well, we know this is 2, this is 2. That's a total distance of 4. So we're going to go 4 over. So if this is at 2, then the next one has to be at 6. Okay? Well, if this is 2 pi, this is approximately 6.28, so this is 6 right here. Or you can count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 over. There's 6. Then we go to the middle. At the middle, you're at 0. At the middle here, you're at negative 1. At the middle here, you're at positive 1. And there's a second interval. And I'll try to ask you to graph 2 intervals in most cases. If you can fit 2 intervals in, I'd like you to graph 2 intervals in there. Okay? So, let's do one last example. Scroll this up. We'll do one last example. Move this over. Okay. So in our last example here, okay, we need to find out our interval, where are our asymptotes at. So they're going to be at negative pi over 2b to pi over 2b. So it's plus or minus pi over 2 times, well, what's b? Well, this is theta, it's not pi, it's theta. So there's a 1 in front of there. So this looks like that is a half. So it's 2 times a half. So again, I would leave the numerator alone, figure out this, what's 2 times a half? Well, 2 times a half is just 1, so this is just plus or minus pi. So we have an asymptote here at positive pi. Okay. We have an asymptote over here at negative pi. Okay. Then you go to the middle, and we're at 0. Then you go to the middle here, and you're at positive 1. And you go to the middle here, and you're at negative 1. Okay? So this one's going to be a little bit wider. Okay? Now, total distance between here and here, this is pi, that's 2 pi. Well, we're not going to be able to go 2 pi, because here's 1 pi, 2 pi would be all the way over here. Okay? So we're only going to sketch one interval in this particular case. Okay? So those are the tangent graphs.